Hey guys, so we are back with another vlog, and so I did a vlog like this before, like the Atlanta versus Las Vegas, as far as like a home setting, like me just kind of just sitting there talking to you. I think you guys kind of like this style, but let me know below down in the comments if you do or if you don't, or if you are wanting like a different type, like a topic you're wanting me to talk about. There's still a lot that we need to talk about, but I'm gonna slowly start progressing into that. But I do just want to say, hit the subscribe button if you can, and yeah. So today we're going to talk about a topic. It's kind of a different type of topic that I've never talked about before. I talked about it, of course, with my husband, and I kind of just brought it to his attention, like, hey, I think I want to make a vlog about this. And basically, the topic of this vlog is basically like, what are we doing this thing called life right? And we kind of like it's kind of like rewind to how we kind of got to this point. I was watching a series of podcasts, I guess as you would say, and just kind of scrolling through social media, and I was just really just wondering, like, are we doing this thing called life right? Like, I literally went to my husband, like, are we doing life right? Like, I don't know, are we doing it right? And like, does anybody else wonder that besides just me? Like, do I only wonder that? I don't know. But with that being said, because I do wonder that, I did want to make a blog about it. So I kind of wrote down like a series of things that kind of like made me start thinking, like, are we doing this right, or are we doing this wrong, or can we do this better or do this differently? What does society think that we should be doing? What do like our morals, as far as like us growing up, our upbringings, or do we stay true to that? Basically, just all of that. And especially now that we have a daughter, we have been going through quite a transition, and that's something that I do want to update you guys about, like how she's doing, and like how are we doing, how I'm handling it, how he's handling it. So like I said, there's a lot I want to talk about today, but basically it all kind of falls under this topic of, are we doing this thing called life right? So with that being said, I'm going to jump into the first topic. Okay, so real quick before I jump into the first topic, I do want to say something, and like, just guys, just hear me out, okay? I'm not trying to say that there's a right and wrong way to do what you do, how you do it, when you do it. But when I say, like, are we living life right, I just mean, like, I can only speak from my personal experience, because I'm not living anyone's life but mine. I can't speak for my husband. I can't even speak for my daughter. I can only, when I say am I living life right, I just mean, like I said, in today's world, with our morals, with raising a young woman in the world today, and just like in general. So like I said, so don't take what I'm saying and say, oh my god, I'm living my life so right or wrong, or she has all the answers, or you're totally wrong for doing this. I'm kind of just like speaking to you guys, kind of like venting. Like, this is a totally different vlog that I've ever done before. It's my first time doing this vlog, a vlog style like this, not in a home setting, but just talking to you guys. So I'm really just talking to you like I would talk to my husband. Like I said, I went to my husband and was like, are we living life right? And I'm going to tell you his answer, what he said at the very end, which brings kind of all of it together, and it just brings why I love him so much and why I'm so happy that he's my partner in this thing called life. So yeah, so guys, just don't take it too seriously or harshly what I'm talking about, or how if I say I do this or we do that and think like, oh, you need to change it, because this is not definitely what this is about. This is basically literally just me talking to you guys, and kind of just not even asking for answers, but just talking, and just trying to start up a conversation on something that I thought about, and something that I thought maybe I wanted to blog about. I do not put videos on here that I'm not 100% passionate about. I don't put videos up here just for the subscribers or the views, even though I do love subscribers and I do love the views, but I do it just because this is my channel and this is something that means a lot to me. So if I'm talking about it on my channel, or I'm doing it on my channel, it's because it means a lot to me. So yeah, I just want to say that before I start this, so don't take it too serious, guys, as far as like I'm telling you living your life wrong, because you're not. Okay, so like I said, I can only ask this question and talk about it from a perspective of me as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, and just as me in general. Because like I said, I'm the only life that I'm living. I don't know anyone else's life or story or journey. So the first topic I'm going to say is basically morals slash kids. I have it all written down on my phone, basically because I wanted to go there, but not go there too far, because like I said, I don't want to offend anybody, and I don't want anybody to feel like you're living your life wrong or you have to live it this type of way, because you don't. How you live your life, it's perfectly fine. If it's been working for you this whole time, then you continue to do it. So like I said, just comment down below if you feel like, if you want to say something, or if you feel like maybe this, you could try it this way, or maybe if you feel like what you've experienced as far as the topic question is, are you living this thing called life right? Just say anything. Comment down below. Say something to me on my Instagram. It doesn't matter what it is. Just just have it's just a thought, like I said. So yeah, feel free to have a conversation with me about my thought in the comments below. Okay, so like I said, the first one is about morals slash raising kids. So let me get more in tune about what I mean specifically. So like I said, so no one's offended, if we have a clear understanding. So like I said, when I went to my husband and I was like, are we living life right? Of course he's like, well, what do you mean, are we living life right? Like, we're living life, right? You're living your life every day. You wake up, you go to sleep, you're living your life. You're doing the normal, I guess you could say, procedure of living your life. So I mean that to say, like I said, we just had a daughter, so me and my husband have a lot of conversations that we never had before, and a lot of them are pertaining to our daughter, and we're finding out more about each other than we probably did before we got married, as far as like raising kids aspects, because you never really know how and when you're gonna have and raise your kids until you actually have them. They're in your face, like, all right, do we agree on how we're about to do this? So I sit there and say, my husband had more of a traditional way of, not tradition, I don't want to say traditional, okay. My husband had a different way of growing up, as I had a different way of growing up. So I mean that to say, my husband has been around very strong women his whole life. And my husband has kind of experienced growing up what I'm currently doing right now, which is staying at home with my daughter while my husband is working. So I say that to say, like, are we living this thing called life right? Is that a right way to raise your child, with the wife being at home, staying at home and raising the child, and the husband going out and working? Now, I'm not gonna this wasn't necessary. I'm not gonna say this wasn't the plan for me to stay home. Of course, you get a maternity leave from work and all that good stuff, and then you have the option of going back. I personally decided not to go back for a few personal reasons, but I decided not to go back. So with that being said, of course, I'm going to stay at home and watch our daughter. I'm not going to pay somebody to come in and watch my daughter if I'm here and it's my daughter, and you know, my husband's out making money, bread, cheddar for the house. So with that being said, I sat there and I literally just asked my husband, like, would you want me to continue this? Is this something that you feel like is right? Do you feel like, what do you feel like, Personally, me growing up, I came from a family. My mom was basically my mom and dad. So I always saw my mom working. I always saw my mom hustling. Though I know she loved me, yes. Did she miss some major moments in my life? I guess looking back now, I can say, I guess I never really thought about my high school experiences or middle school or things I dabbled and dabbed in as a extremely like life experience. Like, oh my god, I need you here right now. Like, where were you? Luckily nothing tragic has ever happened to me. So I guess you can say, like, I kind of just like lived my life, I guess, as I felt fit, because my mom was working a lot. But like I said, it didn't take away from the love that she always gave when I did see her, and we always had a roof over our head, and yada yada yada. So I say that to say, I am going to start back working really soon, so now she's gonna go from seeing me at home. She's almost like 7 months, so she's gonna go from seeing me at home to now seeing us working. She's used to seeing my husband work, and when he gets home, he does spend that one-on-one time with her, so that she knows like who he is and, hey, I'm your dad, and plays that active role just as much as I've always wanted and needed him to do. But now I'm about to start working, so it's like, are we living this thing called life right? Is that a good decision for her to see both of us working? And so I'm going to kind of say the scenario and kind of say what me and my husband talked about. And then, like I said, at the very end, I'm going to kind of draw it all together and tell you basically the answer that my husband answered to this question I'm asking: are we living this thing called life right? So I asked my husband, like, is that right that she sees us working? from what you saw growing up, from what I saw growing up, like I said, my husband was around strong women who were able to stay at home sometimes, who did work as at times too, but were able mainly to stay at home and focus on the kids, focus on teaching and learning and what have you. With me about to go back to work, I'm asking, is it right that she sees both of us working? Of course, the fact that I am going to go back to work, she can't just stay at home by herself. She's 7 months. She's not self-efficient. So we are going to have to hire a babysitter or a nanny. And it's like, do I want to bring another person into her life? Because the fact that she is so young, it's going to be, personally, my wants, I do want that person to be her nanny or her babysitter for as long as possible. I don't want to have people in and out of her life. I want that person to kind of grow up with her, because I don't want a lot of people in and out of her life. I really just want a few people as far as mentoring, adulting, parenting influences around her in general, you know. So is that right? Are you living life right by being two working parents and having your child with a babysitter or a nanny? Are you living life right with just the wife being a stay-at-home and the husband working? Are you living life right as in, I don't know, like just, I don't know, just family raising your children maybe? I don't know, as far as like raising children. And then I got asked my husband, how do we still bring in your core beliefs? Because my husband, like I said, he's seen a more traditional way of raising kids, and I'm coming from, I guess you could say, a little bit more modern as far as a single mother working to support two kids, me and my brother. So I come from a little bit modern. So how do we combine that into kind of one molding and saying this is the right way how we're going to raise our daughter? And we came up with a good strategy. Like I said, I am going to go to work soon, and I guess the strategy that we came up with is, at least I've been able to spend most of her basically first year with her. She's about to be 7 months, so 7 months is just short of like 5 months of her turning a year. So I've been able to teach her this far and learn with her this far, and her know who I am exactly, and know who her father is exactly, as far as that bonding time. So I guess we kind of discovered like our right way of living life, right, would be to just bring in a nanny or a babysitter that can be with her fuller, longer term, that could grow up with her. So my next one we're going to talk about, topic 2, is yeah. Do you feel like you're the only one going through these changes, maturity, having kids, marriage, and is it okay if you don't? So living life right. Like I said, I was scrolling through social media, and everyone that I know, literally from high school, from work, from everywhere, just they have kids or they're married. Not everyone does, because that's going to go into what I'm about to say. A lot of people that I know from high school, or a lot of friends that I have, or there's people that you see on the street, they have kids, or you see them with their significant other, and if you look down, if they have a ring or don't have a ring or whatever, that's their preference. But like, a lot of people are married, or a lot of people have kids. And before me and my husband had kids or found out that we were pregnant, I was constantly asking myself, like, just even just us moving halfway across the United States. And guys, go check out that blog. It's a really epic blog, us driving all the way from Atlanta to Vegas. It's one of my most trending blogs, so definitely gotta check it out. But even with us just doing that, I even asked, even to myself, like, is that right? Am I doing this right? Getting married and moving halfway across the world, or the United States, to start a new life with my husband. Is that something that's right, or is it wrong? And like I said, this is not a vlog to be like, oh, you're doing this right or you're doing this wrong. It's just more so just like a conversation. Like, I'm just talking to you guys, wanting to know what you guys think, and just kind of seeing where what I think about and where my head is at. This is a more personal vlog that I've never done before, so I'm really eager to see the response I'm going to get from it, and what you guys may say about it, or comment below if it's going to start up a conversation about it too. So I just mean that to say, like, were we doing that right, by moving halfway across the United States and starting our life with my husband, and kind of leaving everything that we know and love behind. So with that being said, I just can say from our personal experience, yes, it was right for us, just for the things that we were battling individually and as a couple and as a freshly new married couple in Atlanta, and for us to come here. It's been a great feeling. It's been a great uplifting. It's been super awesome for our marriage and just for us individually, as far as like strengths and possibilities and etc, etc, etc. So that I wonder too. And I do want to say, because I do have some friends that are not married and do not have kids, that it's okay. It's okay. You're living life right if it's right for you. You know, if you're not married, if you don't have kids, it's okay. It really is okay. I don't say that to say that I got married just because I saw it I just saw it, or we had kids because we saw everybody else having kids. No, our life has very been our own pace, hence us moving all the way from Atlanta to Vegas where nobody knows us, and us creating a whole new life with each other. So it's very much been at our own pace as we set terms, and as this vlog, as we're setting new terms and boundaries to our life with our daughter, with us as a whole. So I say that to say too, like if you're watching this and you don't have kids, or if you're wondering yourself, are you living life right, as far as like day by day, or little steps that you're taking, or achievements that you're making in your life? Is it good enough? Is it good enough that you don't put it out there so that everybody can praise you for it? Is it important enough that not you don't see everyone else doing it, as far as like married or kids or promotion, or I don't know, moving halfway across the states or anything, you know, buying a new car or a house or what have you, you know? And I want to say that yes, it's okay. Don't don't let social media influence you in a way that you start looking at yourself crazy and wondering if the life that you're living is right, and or if it's wrong, or if you should have been doing it totally different from the beginning, if your parents should have been doing differently from the beginning, which would have made a different outcome for you. So yeah, you're living life right if it's right for you. So the next topic I do want to talk about is my life with Ayla. So that's kind of like the topics I want to talk about, like as far as like are you living your life right. But these next few topics will kind of follow into the topic as well. So life with our daughter Ayla. I kind of talked about this in the first one, as far as like me being home with her. I have been home with her for the majority time that she's been on this earth, for the past couple of months, and it's been amazing. What I will say about parenting, I don't want to speak too much of it because that's going to be a completely different vlog, and I will discuss later why it hasn't been a vlog made since she was born yet, on why, like how I feel about parenting. But life with Ayla it's been challenging. And I say that in a good way. Challenges and challenging moments in your life are not always bad. They're good too. They're more. I feel like they should be glorified more as a good thing versus like, oh, this is a challenging part. I don't know if I can study for this test. I don't know if I'm going to get this promotion to get, you know, what I need to get this promotion. Or, oh, I don't know if I have the money up to get this house or this car. So I say that to say challenges should always be looked at as a positive thing, a challenge, you know, something that you can overcome, something that you can master, no matter what it is. So life with Ayla has been very challenging, guys, and I mean that in the best wholehearted way. A good challenging, a hard challenging, oh my gosh, I want to pull out my hair challenging. And for those who are mothers, you know what I'm talking about as far as challenging. Just the word challenging with a child, you understand. And like I said, for those who don't even have kids, just life itself, are you living it right? It's challenging, you know, it's hard trying to figure this out, or figure out what you're going to do or how you're going to do it. So life with Ayla, like I said again, has been very challenging. She's definitely challenged me individually as a person, which is what has inspired me to do this video, as far as am I living life right? Because before I had a daughter, or had someone looking at me, idolizing me, or you know, looking more to see what I'm doing versus what I'm telling her to do, you start to look at yourself differently. You start to really ask yourself, am I living my life right, to the fact that I want my daughter growing up looking at what I'm doing and can say, oh, my mom did it this way, so I want to do it this way? Are we installing it in her the correct beliefs, core beliefs, and core traditions that are right, you know? Or even, like I said, if you don't have kids, where you came from, your core beliefs or your core traditions of where you came from, has it influenced you to live your life differently, or differently, or are you kind of same? Like, do you just want to continue to carry it throughout your family, through you, and then when you have kids, you do the same? Just are you doing it right? So it's been a challenge just for me individually. I know it's been a challenge for my husband, but just for me as a woman, it's been very challenging having Ayla, and it's been a super, super blessing, though. Let me just say that as well. It's been a super, super blessing, and I love her to bits and pieces, and I love the person that I have become since I've had her. And I've gone through a lot of changes personally since I met her, as far as just a woman, as a wife. Um, yeah. So life with Ayla has been very challenging, and I constantly question myself: Am I living my life right? I'm constantly changing things. Um, and guys, comment down below if you went through this with your first child, with your second child, with a new marriage, with a new spouse, or just with a new job or a new house. Like, do you ask yourself at a certain point in your life, are you living it right? Do I want to continue to do what I'm doing because it's gotten me this far? Do I want to continue that, or do I want to change it? And clearly, me making this video and me saying that my daughter has changed me for the better, I clearly wanted to change it. You don't have to necessarily be that person. I just know for me, I can only speak for myself. I wanted to change it. There's a lot of things about me mentally that I have changed that I didn't know I wanted to change, or I thought I needed to change, since I had a daughter. And I'm not trying to say go have a kid because that's how you're going to have this huge question in your life answered. Are you living your life right? No, 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 no. I'm just saying that's what it took in my life for me to start questioning my life as far as, am I living it right? Just because I believe, I guess for me, it took someone else, it just took someone else looking at me, I guess. Okay, let me make sure I word this correctly. For me, it took me having a daughter to ask myself, am I living life right? Due to the fact of, because I've never had someone idolizing me. I never had someone looking at my every move. I never had someone besides my husband that I love oh so much that I just want you to have the best of everything, as far as not even like materially, just the best examples, the best core foundation, the best traditions, the best beliefs. Like, I just want her to have the best of everything, as far as everything I just said, and to prepare her the best that I can to live in today's world. Today's world is a crazy, crazy world. It's a crazy, crazy world. I'm sorry, I keep like beating on the table and I need to chill. But today is like a crazy, crazy world. So it took me really having a daughter to really ask myself, am I living it right? And do I need to change some things? And I've changed a lot. If you guys know me on a personal level, a lot of people tell me that. My mother has told me that you just matured. My husband's told me that you really matured. And I really do value that. But like I said, you don't have, just for me, it took having a child to really change my ways. Not trying to say this has to be the same for you. It could be anything. So it rolls me into the next topic. As far as having kids in today's society, and how has it changed my way of thinking, kind of just answered it, as far as I changed my way of thinking, as far as having someone look up to me and wanting her to have the best mental state and beliefs and emotional and just spirit overall to bring her and get her ready into this world. So excuse me. I can say so far, I feel like we've given her a good example. I don't sigh as a bad thing. I sigh because it's a question. Are you doing it right? No one can ever really answer that. So this is why I'm kind of making this vlog, kind of like venting to you guys. No one can really say, you're doing this right, or you're doing this wrong. Of course, if you're breaking the law constantly, or if you find yourself with a track record longer than 30, I don't know, whatever, or if you find yourself hurting more than you are happy, if you find yourself crying more than you're smiling, if you find yourself in a dark place more than you are in a happy place, okay, then clearly maybe some things need to change. So are you living it right by just, even like through my daughter, like am I doing it right for her? Are the things that I'm changing within myself good enough, or do I need to change more? So in raising her and getting her ready for today's society, it's challenging, and like I said, with having two working parents, how do I let her know, by being there, by not being there, that hey, you're still everything that we love. We're working hard for you, as far as wanting to give you a roof over your head, give you the best that me and my husband have never had, as far as opportunities, schooling, just experiences, giving you everything that we never had. Is that right to want that for your child, or do you want your child to have the same experiences as you as far as growing up? Do you think they should face somewhat the same example, and they're not going to face everything that you face exactly the same, but put them in situations where they will learn the same life core, like life core moments, I guess, as you, that changed you or mold you into the person that you are? Yeah. So on the next topic, it is have kids change my marriage? And I don't really want to speak on these topics too long, because I haven't made a vlog yet that basically says how a life update about being a mom. How do you feel about being a mom? Like I said the word challenging, and I feel like that speaks for itself. I said the good and the bad. But just because I wanted to fulfill the full experience. I didn't want to say, oh, after a month, this is how I feel about being a mom. Not trying to say that for anyone who has done that those aren't your true feelings. I just know for me as a person, it just takes me a little bit longer to really feel what I'm trying to feel and experience what I need to experience. Like I said, it's been challenging. I've had some tears. I've had some confusion. I've had some discussions. I've had some venting. So it's taken me a little bit longer just to really fill out wholeheartedly about how I feel about being a parent. Because being a parent is not easy. It's a whole nother world, a job, an industry, a vocabulary, a mental state. It's a whole nother everything, So that vlog will be coming soon. But just to answer these few questions that I had that support this topic are you living life right? I'm going to jump into the last topic, which was how has having kids changed my marriage? This is a very sensitive topic. Since we've had Ayla, she hasn't changed our marriage for the worse. No, she has. I'm going to be completely honest, because, like I said, I'm very honest about everything that I say, and I support it wholeheartedly. She has brought our marriage to a point where, like I said, you question things. We've been doing it right like this so far. Like, this is how we've been doing it. Now that we have someone looking at us, is this how we want to continue to do it? Has it started up some arguments? Yes. Has it started up maybe some animosity against one another? Yes. Has it started expectations that we never thought that we would put on one another? Of course it has. Because you have someone who's completely innocent. You have someone who's completely innocent. You have someone who can't fend for themselves, who can't speak for themselves, and you're trying to guide them without guiding them. You know what I mean? You're trying to help them grow in this thing called life without telling them, okay, you do X, Y, and Z, and that 2 equals 2, and then that's how you know you got the right answer. Because you don't know if you're doing it right. Are you living life right? So it has challenged my marriage. It's been for the good, it's been for the bad sometimes. But like I said, to kind of wrap up what my husband said to this question that I asked him, are we living life right? My husband's answer, something that took me by surprise, but it's something that was so, I guess you could say, common sense. But to me, it was a hard question to answer. Like I said, because I can only speak for myself, because since I've had her, I've been doing a complete 360, not only for myself, but for my husband and for my daughter. So when I asked my husband this, he kind of looked at me crazy. He was like, well, what do you mean, are we living life right? We have a roof over our heads, we have cars that are able to get us from A to Z. Our daughter has never, thank God, had to go without something that she needed. She's fully stocked on all her supplies that she's ever needed, formula, Pampers, wipes, everything that she's ever needed. And I looked at him and I was like, you're right. I guess that's like, as I would say, please guys, don't hate me for saying this. That's like, no, I'm not even going to say it, because I feel like it's going to cause a whole issue. But to me, I was like, that's another way of looking at it. I guess I was asking you more of an emotional, traditional core value standpoint. Are we doing life right? And when I told him, like, that's how I'm trying to ask it, not so much of a material, like, are we living life right? Of course, bills are paid, we have a house over our head, we have cars that we can drive, thank God. And we're able to live our life as an everyday basis. But when I really asked him that, he was like, you know what? We're living life right if it makes us happy, basically, in a roundabout way is how he said it. If how do I say this? You're living life right if it's making you happy. If it makes you happy to be married, be married. If it's making you happy to have kids, have kids. If it's making you happy to, if you feel the need to change your entire way of thinking once you get to a certain age because you feel like maybe what I've been doing hasn't been working, then yes, you're living your life right. Who's to say if you're living your life right or living your life wrong? If it's what makes you happy and if it's what's bringing you things happiness, like if it's bringing you the things that make you happy, if it's bringing you the car that you wanted or the house or the family or your loved or the person that you love, if it's bringing you children, if it's bringing you any type of feeling that you feel like you need to have in your life, then you're living your life right. And I looked at him and I was like, wow, you're so right, you know. And it's kind of funny because I don't know if it's just like a woman thing as far as like being a mother, but I'm so hard on myself now because I'm really just asking myself, am I living my life right? And when my husband said that, I kind of like forgot to, I kind of just laughed and I was like, well, you know what, you are right. We are doing things that we feel like make us happy. We teach her things that we feel like will make her life easier as far as traditions. We do teach her core beliefs as far as, like I said, traditions or just what we feel like in our family, what's important to me, my husband, what we feel like we should focus on, like I said, in today's society. So overall, kind of close out this vlog, I do want to further question, are you living life right? You're living life right if it's what makes you happy. No one's here to tell you how you should be living it, where you should be living it, how soon should you start, how late should you begin. And it's your own journey. Every person's life is their own journey and their own story. So don't look at this video or somebody else's Instagram or somebody else's YouTube or somebody else's life or somebody walking down the street getting into their car because it has the house that you like or the car they may be driving and say, dang, I must not be doing something right because I don't have those things. If you do that, if you're saying that to yourself, like, am I not doing something right because I don't have these things or because I want these things or because something in my life is not happening for me, then that's when you should start questioning yourself, are you living life right? Because clearly you're wanting to fulfill a feeling or a moment in your life and you're not getting it. I'm not trying to say rush and go meet somebody and have a kid or be married or rush and go through school just so you can get this and get that and that will make you happy. That's what I'm saying. Go do because it make you happy. No, but I'm saying that to say, are you living life right to the point where it's fulfilling? If it's fulfilling you, if you're happy, then that's what you should continue to be doing. And I guess that's what I forgot to think about, you know, at the end of the day. You know, if it's making us happy, if it makes her happy, if I know it's going to benefit us as a couple, if I know in the long run it will benefit her from us teaching her these core beliefs or teaching her or her seeing both of her parents work, or if it's going to teach her better with seeing me be at home with her for a couple months of her life and then seeing me go off to go work, and then later on, you know, she can be like, hey, you were at home for a little bit and then you work, what happened? Then I can tell her, you know, I feel like I wasn't living my life right because I wasn't doing something that made me happy. And as not trying to say being home with her does not make me happy as far as that. I'm just saying my own self-fulfillment. There's still things I want to do in my life as far as career, as far as wants, and things that I want to give her that I can't do if I'm stationed. I feel like personally, not anybody else, that I feel like I can't fulfill if I'm personally stationed just at home. So yeah, that's the end of today's vlog, guys. Are you living your life right? And like I said, this is not a vlog is to criticize anybody or to tell you that you're living it wrong or right or negative or positive or anything. This is just kind of me venting to you guys, asking you things that I've asked my husband and kind of letting you know what I drew as a conclusion of my own question. Are we living life right? And, you know, just to kind of sum it back up, if it's making you happy in life, then you keep doing it in life. Because like I said, it's only one life. It's your life. You only get one race around it. And that's it. So do it the best way you know how, as much as you know how. Change, don't change. So, you know, just do it the best way you know how. Change, don't change. You know, just no one has the right answer. And that's another thing that I forgot. That's like the most major part that I forget. How did I forget that? That's what my husband said too. No one has the right answer. There's no book on life. There's no book that says when you're going through this, chapter 3, section 4, boom, the answer's right there. It works every time. And I guess that's my biggest thing too, has been my challenge. When I say having a child is challenging, being married is challenging, being a woman today is challenging, being a man is challenging, being living life is challenging. Okay, life is just challenging, you know. So I guess that's where I draw this vlog from. You know, are you living it right? Just by the simple fact of no one has the right answers. You know, you can look at somebody and say, hey, they have what I have. Maybe I need to change it because I need to have, I want that in life. Well, maybe you're going to get that, but it's going to be in your own journey and in your own way. So like I said, don't look at this vlog and say, oh, I need to live my life like that, or look at somebody else's life and say that, or you need to do this because everybody else is doing it. No, your time is your time and your life is your life. And if it makes you happy, then you continue to do it. And don't worry about what anybody else says about the pace or the transition process or the time it's taking to do it, because you know what? No one knows you better than you. Um, so that's the end of today's vlog, guys. I hope you like the topic. I definitely like the topic. It's been something that's been weighing on me for a little while, since I've had her, since I've been married, since we moved down here. Just I've been going through, I guess you could say, like a life transition. So if you guys are going through the same thing, let me know. Comment down below. If you like videos like this, I'll definitely do some more just some one-on-one venting conversations type. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.